Aunt Irma, you are a fascinating woman. Interesting and smart.
And I'm still sharp as a tack and strong as an ox. But I've still been stuck in this hellhole for years, locked up with a bunch of feeble, sick old biddies.
You know, that's what I don't understand. Why would your niece, Eve Russell, do such a thing to you?
Because she's a no-good, blaspheming, drug-addicted whore. That's why. Evil slut. I could tell you stories about that tramp that would make your heart stop.
I just bet you could. In fact, I'm counting on it.
I mean it, Eve. I am going to find our son no matter what it takes.
That means going up against Alistair.
I'm through letting him control my life. I've wasted too many years living in fear of his wrath.
That fear is very warranted, Julian. We both know what kind of monster he is.
Well, it's time that he learned how determined I can be.
Julian, it isn't gonna matter. He stole our son, his own grandson, because his mere existence offended the great Alistair Crane. I don't even want to think about what he would do to you if you crossed him.
You still care about me, don't you?
Of course I do. But it doesn't change anything. I'm still married to TC. You and I, we have to stay apart. I can't even see or talk to you anymore. It's not good for anyone.
So my father wins.
Julian, our relationship has hurt so many people. Look, we have a son out there somewhere who doesn't even know who his parents are. This TC who lost his tennis career because of a car accident that we caused, that mangled his knee. And I have a daughter who despises me. I mean, somewhere it's got to stop. I just don't want terrible things happening anymore.
Catherine. Hey, it's safe to use our names. There's no one else here. Are you all right?
Well, our past is catching up with us, Martin. Our worst fears being realized. Alistair's found us.
The assassin he sent is dead, Catherine.
Alistair probably knows that by now.
Most likely, and not much gets by Alistair. We've been lucky to have eluded him all these years.
So he'll try to kill us again, and again, and again, until he succeeds.
Unless he has another plan.
Another plan? What do you mean? What other plan?
No, the necklace. The one with the Crane logo on it.
Yeah, the necklace the stranger gave Paloma. Alistair is clearly sending us a message. Oh, but even Alistair couldn't be that cruel.
Catherine, after what we did, I think that he would do anything to get his revenge. And what better way to hurt us than by going after our children?
Antonio? Antonio, you here?
Antonio?
No, Sheridan. Antonio isn't here. I am. Prove your love. Do something. Anything. Don't let your sneaky brother win my daughter with a bag of dirty tricks. She needs rescuing. And you're the man to do it. She's your wife.
Damn you, Luis. Alistair was right. kidnapped my wife, and now you're gonna have to pay. You stole her from me. I'm gonna kill you.
Sheridan remembered she loves me. Just wish she hadn't talked me out of going with her to see Antonio. I don't care how angry he is. He needs to accept the fact that Sheridan remembered she loves me and we're gonna be together.
I would hold the hand of the one who could lead me places, and kiss the lips of the one who could sing so sweet. And I would fly on the wings of the bird I knew could take me highest. Breathe in, breathe out. You keep me alive. You are the fire burning inside of me. You are my passion for life.
I'll respect your wishes. I'll stay away from you. But I'll never stop loving you. I know how committed you are to your marriage. I won't do anything to ruin your relationship with TC.
He hates you, Julian. If you ever thought something was going on between us, I honestly think that he'd kill you.
I'll only contact you if I have news about our son. Otherwise, I'll do my best to stay away.
Thank you. I do think it's for the best.
Aunt Irma, I am dying to hear all your stories about your niece, Eve Russell.
Oh, that evil slut. Pure poison. All those drugs and the drinking and the men. Oh, Lord, the men. Who'd you say you were again?
Just think of me as your friend.
I don't have any friends.
Well, now you do. You know what? I get the feeling that you and I are going to be very, very close friends.
Not that close. I read about women like you and that Rosie O'Donnell.
You know what, Aunt Irma? What would you say if I helped you get out of here?
You mean a breakout?
No. I mean, I'd like to arrange for a little visit.
Can you do that?
I think so. Let me just go talk to the director.
Not so fast. What you planning on doing with me when you take me out of here?
I'd like for you to meet a good friend of mine.
I don't want to meet none of your friends. When I get out of here, I'm going to Vegas. I want to play the slots, hit the tables, and meet Mr. Wayne Newton.
I'm sorry, Aunt Irma. Maybe next time. But I think you'll enjoy meeting my friend. The two of you have something very important in common.
What?
It's a surprise.
I don't like surprises. That's how I wound up here.
Trust me, you'll like this one. And I'm going to love it. I can't wait for TC to meet you and hear the truth about his precious Eve.
Do you have any idea what you've done?
Yes. I've reunited with the man that I love.
You've abandoned your husband so you could carry on with Luis Lopez Fitzgerald. I had no idea how loose your morals had become. You should be ashamed of yourself. A married woman behaving like a common tramp, and with your husband's own brother.
I am not a tramp.
You have shamed our entire family, Sheridan. And once again, you have disappointed me, personally.
I didn't mean to.
You're my little girl. How do you think seeing you act like this makes me feel? You should be embarrassed, Sheridan. Totally and utterly embarrassed. You're a total embarrassment, Sheridan. You've brought me nothing but shame since the day you were born. Shame and pain. If it weren't for you, your mother would still be alive. Do you understand that? It's your fault she's dead. Behaving like a slut in front of the entire town. How could you do such a thing?
I should be asking you the same question, Father.
Excuse me?
How could you do what you did to me?
You bastard. Antonio, I'm sorry.
You're sorry? You're sorry? What, you kidnapped my wife? You take her off to some island, you poison her mind, and you got the gall to look me in the eyes and tell me you're sorry?
Look, you heard Sheridan at the courthouse, okay? Now, she loves me. Come on. You had to have seen this all along.
No, you know what? I didn't see this all along. You see that? I'm married to her. I'm married to her, not you.
No, she's made her decision now.
No, she made her decision when she left the hospital. And in spite of all the pressure that you and Mama and the rest of the family were putting on her, you just couldn't accept the fact that she chose me. So you just kept hounding her, and then you take her off to this island. I'm curious, what did you do to make her think that she loves you so much,
Well,
huh?
Sheridan doesn't think that she loves me. She does love me. Okay, and she remembered that all on her own.
That's bull. What is this, Luis? Is this some kind of payback for me leaving the family all those years ago because you think I abandoned you guys somehow?
Oh, yeah, that makes sense, doesn't it?
It makes sense to me. Damn you, Luis. You try to steal my wife, you know what? You're gonna pay.
Our children? Do you really think that Alistair would really harm our children?
All right, let's think this through. The man who gave Paloma the necklace with the Crane logo on it, what else could it mean? It's gotta be Alistair's way of telling us that he'll have his revenge for what we did to him, even if it means hurting our children, yours and mine.
God. Oh, my little Sheridan, I love you so much. My Julian, I love you both so much. This is going to hurt you so deeply. I just pray that one day you'll understand why I had to leave, that I had no choice. Martin, are we doing the right thing?
It's the only thing we can do. We have to leave. It's too dangerous for you here.
Alistair's going to be so furious. He won't stop at anything to get his revenge. He'll probably try and track us down, maybe even kill us, but one thing I know, he would never hurt our children. He's capable of great evil, but not that.
I agree. Whatever danger we're placing ourselves in, at least our children will be safe.
Martin, we were so sure that he would never harm our children. We were wrong. We were terribly, terribly wrong. How could you do it to me, Father? Luis was right.
There is no way that I could have forgotten my love for him all on my own. You did something to me.
What I did was remind you that you're a Crane with all the privileges and responsibilities of that birthright.
After you had me committed to that psychiatric ward, you had me brainwashed, just like Louise said. You tore me away from the man that I love. You and Dr. Ackland, you tried to erase every memory that I had of Louise, every loving memory, and you almost won. You almost succeeded. But you didn't. Because I finally remembered. I love Louise.
You don't know what you're saying. Dr. Ackland warned us about how emotionally fragile you still are.
I'm stronger than I have ever been in my life. And it's because I finally remember. I remember that I love Louise. I remember that he's the man that I want to spend the rest of my life with. I even remember that he makes me happier than I've ever been. And you knew that. So how could you try and take that away from me? How could you do that to your own daughter?
Dr. Ackland said that you'd be susceptible to manipulation, to the suggestion of false memories. Luis Lopez Fitzgerald knew that, and he's taken advantage of it.
That is not true. Luis loves me.
Is it love to turn you against your own father? The day you were committed to the psychiatric ward was the darkest moment of my life, Sheridan. But after losing your baby, you were in such a deep depression, we were afraid you'd become suicidal. The specialists all agreed it was the only way to save you. You weren't brainwashed, you were cured. I would never do anything to hurt you. You were my one and only little girl. I love you.
You don't love me. I don't think you ever have. You've never even shown me the slightest expression of love unless you had something to gain from it.
I've given you everything, Sheridan.
You've given me nothing. You've only treated me with disdain ever since Mother died. You sent me off to boarding school in Europe. You treated me like I didn't even exist. You never even called. I tried everything in my power to get you to love me, to get you to pay attention to me, to just even notice me, but you never did, not even once.
I gave you everything you wanted.
Except love. Look, I know that you blame me for Mother's death. You always have. So is that why you've been treating me this way? Is that why you have robbed me of any happiness that I could possibly have with Luis? Because you have some personal vendetta against me because of what happened to Mother?
Don't you dare talk about your mother. I've told you never to mention her name.
You are my passion for life.
Sweetheart, what's going on? Sweetheart, what's wrong? You seem upset.
Oh, no, honey, you just caught me at a bad moment.
Honey, those are our baby's booties, right? You were thinking about our son. Thinking about the miscarriage that you had years ago.
Yes, I was thinking about the son that I lost.
Sweetheart, I know that you can never get over something like that. Honey, here, sit down, come on.
No, honey, no, I don't want to sit, really. What I would like to do is go to the cafeteria and get some tea. Would you come with me, please?
Sure, whatever you want.
Okay. Oh, gosh, I forgot my beeper.
I'll get it.
Oh, you know what, honey? Why don't you go to the cafeteria, order the tea, and I'll meet you there.
All right. You sure you're okay?
I'm fine, really. Oh, God, that was too close.
I hate hiding from TC, but I can't cause you any more trouble.
Oh, God only knows what would happen if he would catch you in here. Or else maybe I'm just delaying the inevitable. Because sooner or later, Liz is going to come forward with all my secrets from my past, and I'm just going to lose everything. TC, my daughters, my entire life.
Look at Sheridan. That was her coming out party. She looks so happy.
She sure does. Look at this. Luis becoming a policeman. It's all so normal. It's as if we actually believed they were doing well.
Because we wanted to believe it. We needed to believe it. Because that was the only way we could feel good about what we did.
We had no choice, Catherine.
Well, maybe we had a choice. We could have checked in on them or found some way to contact them.
It was too dangerous.
Well, but we're parents, and a parent's first responsibility is to protect their children, and we didn't do that.
Sweetheart, we had to make a total break from it, cut all ties, and never look back. Otherwise, Alistair would have found us even sooner.
Oh, God, Martin. What if we're right? What if Alistair is taking his revenge out on them instead of us? I mean, then it's our responsibility. We've condemned them to a life of hell, every single one of them. And how do we live with that?
I don't know. I hate this as much as you do, but we can't undo what we did.
Perhaps we should try.
No. It's too much of a risk for our children to find out the secret. The secret that made us leave Harmony in the first place. If they find out, it'll destroy them.
You are never to mention your mother's name. Do you understand?
Why? Why can't I talk about Mother? It's not just because you blame me for her death. No, there's something else. I can see it in your eyes whenever someone mentions her.
This conversation is over.
You know? I used to think it was grief. But it's not. It's the same look that you get whenever you talk about Luis.
I said that's enough.
My God. It's fear. I never thought you were afraid of anyone.
I'm not.
You're afraid that Luis will expose some secret about our family.
More of Luis's lies.
But what could you possibly fear about Mother?
I won't listen to this rubbish.
What are you afraid of, Father? Tell me. Why do Luis and Mother evoke the same look in your eyes? What is the connection?
There is no connection.
Luis, he knows that you're behind his father's disappearance. He is positive that you're the reason why Martin Fitzgerald left Harmony, and he is going to prove it. Right. Does Martin Fitzgerald's disappearance have to do with Mother's death?
Luis Lopez Fitzgerald has turned you into a walking conspiracy theory.
There it is again. There's that look. There is some connection. What is it, Father? Tell me. Please, I want the truth. I need to know the truth.
Antonio, I didn't steal Sheridan from you, okay?
Oh, the hell you didn't. You stole her from me. You messed with her mind again, and you know what? Now you're gonna have to pay for it.
Why don't you just calm down, okay?
No, because Sheridan loves me, and you can't accept that fact. And you know what? You just kept at her, and you kept at her until you wore her down.
You know what? You know that that is not true.
Hell, it isn't, Luis.
Well, listen to me, all right? Sheridan and I have a bond, okay? And it's a bond that goes beyond this lifetime.
Oh, I know all about your little past lives and all that stuff. Remember, I was there too. And guess who she ended up with in all those past lives? Huh? You know the answer. Me. And who's she gonna end up with in this one? Me.
No, she isn't.
Hell, she isn't. Because I'll see you dead before I ever see you with Sheridan.
This is too damn dangerous. I shouldn't have let you come.
We're in this together, darling. I want to find the man who gave the necklace to Paloma. I want to hear for myself what it means. He looks like the man she described right there.
You need to be very careful. Buenas noches. May we join you, senor?
By all means. I've been expecting you.
Is that so?
I even ordered you drinks. To the younger generation, you're not drinking.
Why did you give that girl at the inn a necklace?
That girl? Please, let's cut the formalities. I know she's your daughter. She doesn't know it yet, but she will. The game is up. Soon everyone will know everything about you, Martin Fitzgerald and Catherine Crane.
Tell me the truth, Father. How does Mother's death connect to Martin Fitzgerald's disappearance?
It doesn't. Your mind is running wild. Luis Lopez Fitzgerald has got you seeing conspiracies where none exist. That's why I don't want you with him, because he knows how impressionable you are, and he uses that to drag you into his paranoid scenarios.
That's not true.
He's using you, Sheridan. As you so correctly pointed out, he blames me for his deadbeat father running out on them. That's all a figment of his deluded mind, because it's easier than facing the truth about what kind of stock he comes from. Luis doesn't love you, Sheridan. All you are to him is a way to get to me. Open your eyes and stop being such a damn fool.
Stop! I am tired of listening to you. I love Luis, and Luis loves me. And you have tried for years to get me to doubt that love. And when you couldn't, you then tried to brainwash me to erase it. But it didn't work, and it never will, because you will never win.
I've had enough of your hysterical accusations.
Why? Because you're afraid to hear the truth?
You've never spoken to me this way before.
Well, maybe I should have.
This was obviously what comes of your association with Luis Lopez Fitzgerald.
You know what? Blame it on Luis. Blame it on the moon. Blame it on what I had for breakfast. But I am tired of caving into you.
Your lack of respect is not winning you any points, Sheridan.
You don't deserve my respect. Not after everything you have put me through. Not after every horrible thing you have done to me. I knew that you never loved me. But I never knew how deeply you hated me. But you do. And that's why you've always done everything that you could to try to ruin my life. You've always done everything you could to destroy me!
That's what you do best, Father. Destroying other people's lives. You seem to take particular pleasure in doing it to your own children.
What the hell are you doing here?
I heard what happened at the courthouse. I came by to congratulate Sheridan, to tell her how happy I am at least one of us has been able to hold on to true love. It's truly inspiring to know that you haven't succeeded in ruining both of our lives.
Sheridan's with me because she wants to be with me, okay? The love is real. Always has been.
That's a lie, and you know it. And you know why? Because she chose me, and you can't accept the fact that she chose me when she got out of the hospital.
You know what? They brainwashed her in the hospital.
Oh, you know what?
But you
I'm
know
sick
what?
of that.
It didn't work because our love was too strong. Let me just tell you something, right, Antonio? I don't care if you're my brother. You try and come between us one more time, I will kill you.
Let me tell you something, Luis. The only one that's gonna die here is you.
All set?
Well, I'm afraid there's something in Irma's file that I wasn't aware of.
What sort of something?
Well, apparently she can't leave the premises without a written permission from her legal guardian.
And who would that be?
Well, your half-sister, Eve Russell.
Who Aunt Irma hates so much.
I know. But you're gonna have to get her permission for us to let you take Irma for a visit.
I have a message for you to take back to Alistair. You tell him to leave us alone and leave our children alone.
You've got to be kidding. You lived with him. You know what he's like. Alistair Crane doesn't let go of anything. Certainly not a vendetta.
But Alistair's battle is with us, not with our children. You tell him to leave them out of this.
No can do. When Mr. Crane goes after someone who has crossed him, there are no rules of engagement. He looks for the way to inflict the most pain, and when he finds it, he doesn't let up.
That's through our children.
That was a no-brainer. Mr. Crane is going to get even with you by destroying them. He's been doing a hell of a job of it all these years, and now that he knows that you're aware of what he's doing, he's going to pick up the pace. He's going to let you see how badly he can hurt them. All of them. As much as I'd like to take the credit, Julian, you've done a perfectly good job of destroying your life all by yourself, so don't blame me.
You forced me to give up the woman I love, and then you stole our son and you sent him off to God knows where.
Because I will never let some half-black bastard try to lay claim to the Crane name.
That child is my son, mine and Eve's, and I'm going to find him, Father. And you cannot stop me.
Don't ever tell me what I can and can't do, Julian, or you'll feel the full wrath of Alistair Crane.
Julian, what are you doing here?
I came by to offer you my heartfelt congratulations. You and Louise deserve all the happiness in the world. And to tell you that I am sorry for anything I've ever done to hurt you. I was following orders. But those days are over.
The hell with both of you.
Not so fast, Father. You still haven't answered my question. Is there a connection between Mother's death and Martin Fitzgerald's disappearance? Is that why you have tried all these years to keep Luis and me apart? Tell me the truth. I deserve to know the truth.
The truth would destroy you in ways you can't even imagine. So leave it alone, or I promise you, you'll regret it the rest of your life.
Luis and Sheridan are back together?
Absolutely. Even Alistair Crane couldn't break their bond.
Love can really be that powerful, can it? It can overcome obstacles and keep a couple together when horrific events are trying to tear them apart.
Absolutely, sweetheart. Look at us. Our love is stronger than ever. World, bring on your worst, because nothing is going to tear us apart.
TC, do you really feel like that?
Absolutely, sweetheart. I love you, and nothing will ever change that.
Oh, God, TC, I hope you're right.
I can contact Dr. Russell and ask her for permission for you to take Irma for a visit.
No, I don't think that'll be a good idea. I mean, judging from Aunt Irma's reaction at the mere mention of Eve, it's obvious there's some sort of problem between them.
Well, Irma isn't very fond of her. I mean, the language that she uses. And you know, when Dr. Russell comes for a visit, I am just so embarrassed for her. But, you know, Irma doesn't need to know that we've gotten her niece's permission.
But what if Eve insisted on accompanying us on our visit? See, I'm just afraid that the benefits that Aunt Irma would gain by having a little time out in the world would be completely negated by her reaction to my half-sister.
Well, I think you're right, and I so appreciate your concern for Irma's well-being, and I'm really sorry that it didn't work out for you or for Irma.
Aunt Irma is a perfect weapon to bring Eve down and still keep my hands clean. She knows all of Eve's sturdy secrets. There must be a way to get TC together with Aunt Irma and let her tell him everything she knows.
I can't let Alistair get away with this. We have to find a way to protect our children. Alistair can't be that much of a monster.
Oh, no? I've worked for Mr. Crane a long time. I remember when you left, when you supposedly died. Mr. Crane was a bastard back then, there's no question. But he was a teddy bear compared to what he's become. When you left, whatever little humanity he had left too. He's become even more ruthless and more evil than you can even imagine.
Evil enough to destroy our children?
In a heartbeat. If by doing so, he can also destroy you.
I don't believe this.
He is a monster, Catherine. He's become a monster, a completely heartless monster, and I pity you. You have no idea what's in store for you, or for the people you love.
You would say anything to scare me off, Father. You would do anything to stop me from digging into the past. But I'm not as weak as you think I am. Not anymore. This is not over.
Sharon, don't.
No, Julian, let your sister continue.
Luis and I are going to find the connection between Martin Fitzgerald's disappearance and Mother's death. We're going to get the answers. We are going to break everything open. And once and for all, I'm going to find out what you are so afraid of.
You've been warned, Sheridan. Proceed with this fool's mission at your own risk, because I promise you, you will regret it.
Oh, that's the first time I've ever really stood up to that man.
You shouldn't have told him your plans. I've made the same mistake. If you and Luis were going to look for answers, you should have just done it. But telling him...
Oh, I don't care, Julian. After what he's put Luis and me through, what more can he do?
A lot, Sheridan, an awful lot.
It's all over, Luis. Please tell me when to kill you.
I have my eyes on another man these days. I will make such a good wife to TC.
Sheridan's my wife, and she's gonna stay my wife.
I love Luis.
NBC this Monday. Last summer's reality hit is back.
This is really gonna be hard.
Who Wants to Marry My Dad? New dad, new kids, new twists.
There is a mole amongst you.
More hidden cameras.
I'm tired of this stupid thing.
And it's all leading
You're the best daughters a father could ever ask for.
to the grand finale.
We have chosen you to marry our dad.
Who Wants to Marry My Dad? NBC this Monday, 10/9 Central.